Hello, Internet world. It is Raven J. I am gracing the Internet with my presence for the first time in like forever. Okay, well, not forever, but you know what I mean. I have not streamed or made a video or did anything in a while. And I know, I hear you. I keep coming back on and saying, "Oh, I'm coming back," and then I don't. Um, I have the best of intentions. I really do. It's just life is happening all the time, everywhere. It's just doing what it does. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that, I suppose. That's what, you know, that's what's supposed to happen. But, I mean, what am I going to do? Not go with it? No, I have to go with it. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening in my life and between Peach and I and our family and everything. And, you know, I will talk about some of it tonight. I'm not planning on being on a long time, but I'm hoping to not be alone. Um, hey, what's up there, just Troy Doe? Um, I'm hoping to not be alone. I'm hoping that um, Coctopus Prime comes on. I've actually spoke with him very briefly earlier today. He said that he would like to come on if he can. So um, I extended an invitation. I sent him a link for StreamYard so he can kind of get on. Hopefully he can set that up pretty easily. It's StreamYard's pretty simple. That's why I use it. So hopefully that'll happen. That would be really, really cool. Hopefully Joe, Serious Mind, hopefully he comes on. Hopefully Autumn comes on. I haven't seen Autumn and I haven't spoken to Autumn much in a while. Kind of miss her. I sent a invite also to AOD. And hopefully he comes. I doubt it, but hopefully. Where's Autumn? Yeah. And none of the people I invited even saw the invites. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And yeah, I guess. That's just the way it goes sometimes, I guess. We have two people watching. Huh. Oh, Nadia Yvette Chambers. Hello, Nadia. So I don't know. I am just farting around here. So yeah. Okay, I guess while we're waiting, hopefully somebody comes in, and while we're waiting, maybe we can talk about some other stuff. Um, I'm working. I have a job, an actual job, a job where nobody's asking me to be something or someone other than who I am. Um, and it feels good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm actually working. I'm working at a school. I'm not going to give a whole lot of details because it's a school, but I'm working at a private school, and I am working with the students, and I'm in the classroom. I'm a teacher's assistant. Um, I'm enjoying it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll kind of you know stay on this train for a little while. I kind of like it. It's interesting. It's it's fun. The kids are fun. The kids are fantastic. And it's pretty cool. I like it. So yeah, 2 weeks now, just about 2 weeks working there. I was there for the first day of school and all that fun stuff. It's neat. It's neat. So yeah, there's that. Boy, that went by a lot faster than I thought it would. I guess if there was other people in here, it would have taken more time, you know, having a discussion about it. But being that it's just me and one person watching, which very likely might be Peach. I don't know. So, yay, fun. Damn, I was so hoping some of these peoples would come on. What else? Oh my God. I could talk about all kinds of stuff. Shared in some discords. Oh, Raven J friendly discords. I only want to be, talking to friendly people. Mm. There's a guy I am friends with on one of my Facebook accounts. I've got two. I've got mine, which is like has my mom and my family. Then I got another one, which is a lot of YouTube people and a lot of like tranny chasers. But there's one guy in particular. He's constantly posting questions, right? Dirty questions, and most of the people he follows are trans women. Um, I normally don't answer the questions, but I've decided it'll be fun to be crazy, but whatever. So anyway, whatever, I guess. I don't know. So what else is going on? People, person. That's always very good. I like friendly. Friendly is good. Do I have a really bad lag? I don't even know. Hmm. Do I have a bad lag? I don't know. I don't know. Trying to relax. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that's normally, I guess, my thing too. I like to relax. Whether it was a long work week or not, I just like to relax in general. It's always fun. It's good fun. Ah, Octopus is not on. Damn it. Damn it. You get the revision to restore your canal from what untreated long COVID did to it. Well, that's a good thing. Your can how do I ask this delicately? Canal. Did we discuss this before? You talking about, are you talking about your vaginal canal? And what did COVID do to it? See, now I really got to know. What is that? Is it just a shadow? I don't know what that is. I don't know. It is. Okay. Well, so what did COVID do to it? That's scary. That's some frightening stuff right there. Mm. Ah. And was it a painful procedure? I mean, is that something that you have to recover from? Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, that could be an issue. I could see. Yeah. No, I could totally see how that could be an issue. Mm. Yeah, that sucks. I don't know if I talked about my adventures with dilating. Um, but okay. All right. Yeah, yeah, I don't know if I discussed that or not. That's one of those things that always seems like iffy territory to me. Um, and it's not that I had like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll leave it there. I don't know. That's- Ah, I don't know. Damn it. Stop moving, screen. Still nobody coming in. This is sad. I suck. Surgical aftercare. I like that. Surgical aftercare. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Where is this? I had a notification for something and I'm looking and I can't find it. I hate that. Does not like. Oh well. Guess it doesn't matter. Hmm. Yeah, still nobody coming in. You know, Peach is like Peach is like that. I have to get better at preparing stuff to talk about if there's nobody on screen with me. And I'm always like, oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then I don't do it because I'm lazy. Um, like seriously, that is bothering me. What is that? I don't see anything in the mirror, but is that just a shadow? Yeah, there's nothing there. So weird. Nobody checks Discord. I mean, I am in only a couple of different servers. I have my own server that I'm in that I don't even use anymore. That should probably drop the link in there. Let me do that now. You know, let me do that. I'm an agent of doubts. General chat. Let me drop the link in there. An agent of doubts. I am also in the goddamn podcast server. Self promotion. Paste and go. I am also, well, there's mine in the general chat. I always post it there, but ain't nobody looks at anything in mine anymore. I don't even do anything. The last time I posted in here was July 20th, actually. Yeah. And I'm also in another one. It's called the Leftist Gaming Party, and nobody has done anything in here also since July 20th, and that was me. But fuck it, I am going to do it again because whatever. Oh, Galen, there's Galen. That's somebody. So, but that's it. That's all I'm in as far as Discord because I'm not a big Discord person. There are certain things about Discord that annoy the shit out of me. So, mm. So anyway, God, I was really hoping Coctopus would come. I know it's still early yet, but damn it, damn it, damn it to hell. Mm. Yeah, the only one that I'm in that's actually active is the goddamn podcast one. Um, all the others just kind of stopped. People just stopped interacting for whatever reason. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I understand that, Galen. Hopefully you're feeling pretty decent at the moment. Hoping. So on this week's goddamn podcast, like the new thing, well, not the new thing, but lately, the goddamn podcast does a lot of it's lol cows. It's been all about lol cows for a while now. And it's like, Shanny for Christ, um, Rev, um, what's his face, Von Helton, um, somebody they call Thumb, um, whatever. There's like a list of them that they discuss. They watch videos of them and they talk about it. And I was on. I was a host for the goddamn podcast for a little while, and um, for several months. And it was all fine and good. And when the producer of the show, some fat guy, when he left, TJ no longer had the ability to have everybody on video. And I didn't feel comfortable not being on video and just having a thumbnail and my voice. And I figured if people can't see me speaking because of my voice, that it would cause confusion, and I didn't want that. Um, I have a man's voice, and I look like this, so I didn't want there to be an issue with being misgendered. So I stopped appearing. I stopped going on the goddamn podcast. Um, and that sucked. I enjoyed my time there. I think they spent a little bit too much time sometimes talking about Shanny. And I understand. I get it. And it wasn't my show. So, it was definitely not my place to try to dictate, what people talked about or how the show worked. But anyway, but that's why I ended up leaving because I didn't want to have my voice without video attached to it because I didn't want to cause confusion. I didn't want to have issues with people in the chat. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. And very good. Okay. PDX. Where's PDX? I don't know. Anyway, in this week's goddamn podcast, somebody, I don't know. I don't know who it was, but I didn't really pay attention. I don't know the lolcows. I don't know these. I don't know any of them. I don't keep up. But this supposedly this trans woman, it's not somebody I know. But they say that they're a trans woman. So who am I to say that they're lying? I have no idea. Um, Basically said that she was misgendered by mods in the chat and by a co-host on the co-host show. I'm not going to get into details. I don't know the details, but I do know this. In defending himself, Coctopus mentioned my name. Basically, I'm friends with Raven. I'm not a transphobe, and I don't think that TJ is a transphobe. I don't think he's a transphobe. Um, some of the stuff that he had said on the show, and that some of the people were saying on the show, and some of the stuff that this trans woman was claiming was said, or talking about how she felt. I mean, I get all of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that anybody did anything wrong, but I once wanted to like make a comment about I didn't want to be, and I don't want to be a token, and I'm not the token trans person to be on somebody's show or on somebody's list or somebody to say, hey, you know, um, I'm friends with this person, so therefore I can't be anything. There are trans people who are transphobic. Um, so, hey, Bill. So yeah, so there are trans people who are transphobic. There are trans people who are not only transphobic but very damaging to the trans community, um, just by spreading misinformation about the trans community. I mean, Blair White comes to mind. So it's like, to for my name to come off of somebody's lips as a defense, that saying that they're not this or that or whatever, it doesn't prove anything. It doesn't show anything. But one of the things that he said on the show was, that you're not a victim because you've been misgendered. And he didn't elaborate. He just said, you're not a victim. You basically, you haven't been victimized by somebody misgendering you. And that by claiming that you are, it makes all trans people look bad. And I was hoping he would come on. I wanted some clarification on what he means by victim. Because, like, if you're defining victim as somebody who was hurt so badly they're lying in the gutter, bleeding out of their skull, then right, you're not a victim. Um, but there's other ways for harm to be done to you by someone that has nothing to do with physical violence. And I think to ignore that, just ignores a lot of people's pain and invalidates a lot of people's lived experiences. So, I wanted to talk to him about that, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen because he's not coming in. He's not coming in. It's been almost half hour. Anyway, it's not like he promised that he was going to come in or anything. I just asked. He said he would like to if he could. So I sent him the link, and okay, if he comes, he comes. If he doesn't, he doesn't. It just sucks. Um, I don't know. I understand the mentality of saying like that some trans people, that the way they behave, whether it's in chat rooms, on Facebook posts, um, and sometimes like in person, like out in the real world, that there are some people within underneath the trans umbrella in the trans spectrum that make all trans people look bad. Unfortunately, I get that. I do get that. I do understand that it's unfortunate that the behavior of some people, if it's really egregious, ends up reflecting on the entire community that they are a part of, regardless of what community that is. So when you have a trans woman who is very, very early in transition, and they're like 6'2", broad shouldered, and short hair, poorly done makeup because they're just learning. Maybe some stubble, right? Yelling at a 16-year-old cashier, you know, it's ma'am, not sir. That makes everybody look bad, and I wish those things wouldn't happen, because there's ways to handle those kinds of things in public, and some people just handle it badly. And I mean, there are people who handle it badly because they're being recorded and they know they're being recorded, so they act a certain way because of the camera. There are other people that act a certain way, or like in that way, because they have a short temper themselves. And I don't know, maybe they had a bad day. What? I don't know. I'm not living their life. But then there are other people that just kind of think that once they put on eyeliner, everybody should then now, know immediately how they should be addressed, and they demand it. And I mean, yeah, these are issues. I mean, it is what it is, and you're dealing with real people out there, and you don't know how things are going to go, and how people are going to react. So for me, misgendering someone is the same as refusing to refer Muhammad Ali by his name, but instead call him Cassius Clay. Yeah, it's not much different than that. Yeah. I mean, when you're misgendering someone on purpose, purposefully, not like accidentally, but if you're doing it, if you're actively, purposefully, if you are doing this on purpose, and you're calling a trans woman sir and he, that kind of stuff, what you're basically doing is you're invalidating publicly their existence. You're saying that their identity isn't worthy, or isn't what they say it is. You're calling into question their honesty. You are humiliating them in public, um, and you're denying them the dignity to decide for themselves who they are. And I would say if somebody does that to you purposefully, that you are a victim. Sorry. I have been misgendered accidentally and purposefully, and you can usually tell the difference. I would say maybe not always, but most of the time, the vast majority of the time, you can tell. So if I go into a store looking like this, and maybe some cleavage, and guy behind the counter calls me sir, yeah, that's on purpose. And I'll pay for my stuff and take my receipt, and as I'm leaving, I might call him a fucking asshole. I'm not going to get into a shouting match with somebody, though. This isn't worth it. It isn't worth it. It's a stranger. And it might hurt. I mean, I've had people, I have had somebody that worked in the store, and they claimed it was an accident, but I had somebody in the store call me sir, and it hurt. It hurt, and I looking like this, and it hurt. Um, and I mean, I said to it was a woman. I said to her, "Really, sir, really?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Um, it's just one of those things where it's a customer loyalty." And it says the name is Robert, so I just said sir. And I'm like, "Yeah, but really, you don't have eyes, really?" I said, "That's all right, whatever." And I paid my stuff and I left. Um, it's whatever. Back when I was really active on Twitter, I ended up deleting that account, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm leaving Twitter forever." I now have another account on there, and I don't really use it all that much. I'm just there to be there, and I should probably delete it, but whatever. Back in my old account, there was a trans woman that I was, you know, friends with or following, whatever, on Twitter. We followed each other, and she was very, very early on in transition. She had a lot of stubble most of the time. Um, she had receding hairline. She was bald. And she had a very masculine, manly face. She had a very masculine, manly voice. She was still learning how to do her makeup. She wasn't very good. She wasn't very good with fashion. Um, she had kind of had broad shoulders, but she was really skinny, which is something, not so much now, but not long ago, it's something that I could like really relate to. Um, but I mean, she was clearly not a cis woman. And if she did not tell you that she was trans, you would have no way of knowing because she presented very much as a man. Very, very much. Even with a little bit of makeup she did, she presented very much as a man. And she would go on these rants on Twitter about how she would at the hardware store, she was misgendered and she was so upset and so hurt. And it's like, I have a hard time feeling bad for her. Like, I understand. Like, once you kind of say it publicly, you kind of want it to filter down to everybody in the world, and everybody's going to respect you, right? But that's would be nice, but that's not how the world works. It just isn't. And if you look like a man, people are going to refer to you as a man. That's just the way it is. That's the way our language works. That's the way our society is kind of ordered. Um, would it be nice to be able to just snap your fingers and, sure, absolutely, but that isn't the world that we live in. So like she would like go on these rants, and I kind of felt bad, but at the same time, it's just like, sweetheart, you look like a man. If I didn't know, I would call you sir too. The difference between me and the person at the hardware store is I know. So I mean, it's hard. It's hard. It's really tough. But I mean, I think some people just, and not everybody that complains about it. It's just that there are some people, some very individual, specific type people that sometimes they just need to. I hate to say toughen up, but they kind of have to. The world sucks. Nadia, let me do this. I don't normally do this. Let me do this. Show. I don't get a whole lot of misgendering to my face, but I wouldn't doubt for a minute that everyone does it behind my back. So, okay, my mom, uses my dead name to my face. Um, she uses male pronouns to my face, but she doesn't do it in a way that's intentionally hurtful. And I went to bingo. I went to bingo, like the old lady I'm turning into. I went to bingo with my mom 2 months ago, whatever it was, last month, and she introduced me to all of her bingo friends as her daughter Raven, and she used female pronouns. So for her, in her mind, it's okay. It's okay to call me Rob and use male pronouns if it's just us. But out in public, she uses Raven and she and her. And I'm kind of like, you're halfway there, Ma. You're halfway there. Um, I mean, it made me feel good, when she did it. And she's like, this is my daughter. It made me feel good. But, you know, I know I have 3 sisters. And something I say all the time is, I have 3 sisters, and whether they like it or not, or whether they know it or not, they also have 3 sisters. Um, and my oldest sister, she was the only one that called me when I was in the hospital after surgery. Um, she was the only one. She actually, behind my back, um, for her, it's Raven. She always, always, always calls me Raven and uses the correct pronouns. Always. Um, my younger sister, it's hit or miss. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. My youngest sister, I have no idea. I don't know. Because even when we're in the same room, she doesn't talk to me. And that's got nothing to do with being trans. It's just been that way for about 30 years, um, many decades. I don't know why. It just is what it is. She's weird. So, from what I understand, behind my back, um, everybody isn't misgendering me behind my back. It's kind of spotty. It's hit or miss. And at this point, this early, I mean, I'm old. I'm old. But at this point in my transition where I haven't been, it's only been like not even 3 years, um, I'll take hit or miss. I'll take that. That works. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, Galen, I have a brother who I haven't spoken to in a couple of years. He's a huge Trump supporter. He Hey, what's up, Persephone? He told my ex-wife that my family is like done with me, which turned out to be absolute bullshit. Um, it's just he is done with me. So whatever. He has a hard time with the fact that I'm trans. He has a hard time with the fact that I'm a Democrat. He has a hard time with the fact that I work at a school because I'm trans. Um, he is the worst stereotype of or the he is the example of all of the worst stereotypes about Trumpers that there is. He is the violent extremist. I mean, he posts pictures of himself with weapons that are illegal for him to own in the state that he lives in because he has a record. And he posts pictures on Facebook holding these rifles. It's like, dude, really? He's one of those. And I would think if he hadn't fallen off of a number of roofs in his life, a number of them, I would say he's dangerous. But because he can barely walk from all of his injuries, I would say anybody can get out of his way. He can't even get out of his own way. Um, but he's pretty upset that I transitioned, and I don't give a shit. It is what it is. Like he needs to deal or don't deal. The problem is his, not mine. So he's trying. No, I don't think he's trying to live up to the stereo. I kind of think they wrote the stereotype to describe him. He's all of it. The 5G, his brain control, all of it. All of it. He is there. Um, remember during the pandemic, right? There was the whole pandemic thing. All of that. He was spouting all of that. He's mental. He's mental. And obviously, of course, he's going to say I am because of all this. But yeah, whatever, whatever. I don't care. Attention and calling anyone what they are not is something meant to provoke and is done with malicious intent. Always, always, always. I'm always, but yeah, intentionally calling somebody something they're not, yeah, is meant to provoke. Always, 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 always. And this is where the whole being a victim comes in. Now, I don't like the word victim though, because that kind of creates this image in people's mind that, the whole victim culture thing. And it's just like, I'm a victim. Somebody do something for me or whatever. Do something, help me because I can't do myself. Whatever, whatever. You know, the type. Um, but I mean, in the most basic and simplest terms, yeah, if somebody is doing that, then yeah, you're a victim. You've been victimized. Somebody has done something intentionally with malicious intent to you. So, thank you, Galen. I don't know, man. Ain't none of my usuals online. That sucks. Mm. Persephone. What's up? What's up? So I was told that I have pretty privilege. I like that. I like that. Mm. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't remember who said it. It was a while ago. But whatever. 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 So I don't remember how much I actually spoke about my surgery online. I know I did. I just don't know how much I discussed it because there's surprisingly a lot of variation. There's, it's not just as simple as it's the bottom surgery. No, there's different types, there's different techniques, there's different it's just, it isn't as, cut and dry as a lot of people think. And it turns out when you do it, when you're prepping and you're going to all of the different people you have to go to, all the jumping through all the hoops you have to jump through in order to get the surgery. Because despite what people like Blair White tell you, you can't just walk into a plastic surgeon, open your legs, and say cut it off. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot of hoops to jump through. So while you're doing all that, you're figuring out which one you want to get, because there is a range of different surgeries. And yeah, it's, believe it or not, that's kind of a thing. I wouldn't lie to you. Hang on. They don't. They really don't. Not a clue. None of them. They don't know. They don't know. They don't know. Never heard anything intelligent or sincere from Blair White. So, okay, so now, to be honest, I actually watched some of her videos for a couple of reasons. There are things that she says that I'm not gonna, like, align myself with Blair White, but there are things that she says that make sense. There are things that she says that make sense, like, on a surface level. Then there are things that just seem to really do ring true. Um, and I get it. Do you know what I mean? Um, at the same time, she has this whole political, you know, bent to her where it almost like it feels like that she feels like she feels like she has this need to sell the party line. So right, exactly. She slants things. Right, right. So she's dishonest about like the path to surgery. She's dishonest about how the puberty blockers for kids. She paints everything in a very dishonest way, and she can use like facts and figures to back up what she's saying. It's just that she puts this negative spin or this dishonest spin on it, and it's just like, but that just isn't true. I mean, it's just like, oh, well, this medication may cause this, this, and this. So therefore, you shouldn't let anybody give this to your kids. And it's just like, but all medications, like all medications have a list of things that they may cause. So, I mean, if the justification is the possibilities, not the probabilities, but the possibilities, then we should just do away with all medicine altogether. But one of the things that she does, one of the things that drives me crazy about her the most is she has had like a number of surgeries. As far as I know, because a couple years ago, I think it was, she made a video saying that she was not planning on getting bottom surgery. She had no interest in bottom surgery. But pretty much everything else on her body has been manipulated by surgeons. Like she's had several on her face. Which is fine, whatever. Do what you want. You know what I mean? I am all for that. But she has had multiple surgeries and breast implants to look the way she does. And then she thinks it's okay then to go online and pick on people not as attractive as her because they don't have the money to pay the surgeons that she did. They can't get the surgeries that she can. And then she picks on them. And she says that they're not really trans because they're unattractive. I don't know where that crazy bullshit came from, but I've seen cisgendered women who are pretty ugly. So it's possible to be ugly and a woman at the same time. I know. I know it's crazy. I know. But it happens. So I don't know. So some of the people the types of people that I was talking about earlier, the ones that kind of make everybody look bad because they get nutso in public about somebody accidentally misgendering them. Um, some of those people, she'll like talk about them and she'll say, you're ugly on the inside. That's why you look like a freak on the outside. And it's just like, what the fuck? Yes, some fallacious nonsense. She is a fallacy factory. Yes. Yes. She absolutely is. But she also suffers from, something I had mentioned before was pretty privilege, where she's just like, you know, she has men that are gonna slobber all over her and her pictures, and her videos and give her money and put her on a pedestal because of how she looks. And then she can get away with spouting really hateful nonsense and get held up by people on the right as some kind of a, you know, standard bearer. But here's the thing, and I think she knows this. They don't give a fuck about her. And then when it comes time, she'd be lined up with the rest of us. Yes, Galen, exactly. Exactly. Right. There are some things surgery just can't correct. I've had 0 surgeries on my face. I think I'm pretty. I do. 0 surgeries. All natural. No breast implants. But you can't I intentionally did not wear a booby shirt today because I'm like, I don't need to rely on tits, you know? Um, but now that we're discussing it, I kinda wish I had worn, but whatever. Yeah, you might be right, Nadia. That could be her that could be her game. I you very well could be right. I don't know. 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 But I am pretty sure her boobs are fake. Most of her face is fake. I got a feeling her hair is fake because it looks like extensions. I got no plastic. This is all me. This is all real. I didn't add any parts. I did have them taken away, but I've added nothing. Bingo. And it's true. She's a useful idiot. They will they will, march alongside her for now, but when the time comes, she's right there with us because they don't care. She's useful. She's a tool. And yeah, she's a tool and she's a tool. It is what it is. I mean, excuse me. I understand the whole, when you start catching the attention of men, right? I understand how that feels. I get it. I get it. I get how the attention can blind you to things. I do get that. I understand it. I mean, not to brag or even humble brag, but the reality is I get hit up by a lot of men on Facebook, on YouTube, um, on all kinds of whatever, everywhere. I get hit up and hit on by a lot of men in person. I get hit on by a lot of men. Um, you know, it is what it is. Again, whatever. I look good. I'm happy with how I look, and not to like, oh, look at me, I look so wonderful. I look good. Um, so I understand what that does to you when you get the attention. I don't get lost in it, and sometimes I think she has. I think I get the feeling that she is so like she's drowning in her own bullshit. I mean, she gets so much attention, and they slobber all over her, and she's drowning in their slobber. Basically, here you go. And that's a shame, I guess. I don't know. She wouldn't go to any of those places. It's not white enough. Mm. I think she's like Latina. I think. But, well, thank you, Galen. I actually I do that also, actually, Galen. I mean, again, like, I don't want to sound like I'm like all full of myself, whatever, but I have been through a journey. And yeah, I actually equate it with the butterfly's metamorphosis too. I mean, that's how I feel, if that makes sense. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's just it infuriates me when she says something that I'm like, yeah, I can agree with that. And it's like, shit, I don't want to agree with you, you psycho. But I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I here's the thing. She has like these mannerisms, and I'm a little bit jealous. Like she went like the ultra femme route. You know what I mean? Like being feminine is one thing, but she did like the ultra femme. And like she has her mannerisms. She moves she moves through the world, the way she walks, the way she, moves her hands and stuff when she talks, her um oh my god, why am I drawing a blank? Um just her mannerisms it's closer to a drag queen than it is a cis woman. Um I know very few cis women in real life that gesticulation, thank you, that move the way that Blair White does. I mean, it's like ultra feminine, and it's almost like the people that she picks on, in a way, it's almost like you're just as bad as they are, Blair, just in a different way. I don't know. I mean, it's like there's that whole like that old stereotype of the woman with the really tight dress and the big huge boobs, and their dress is so tight that she can only walk like this. That's Blair. Yes, percent right. Go back and look at one of her videos. Just turn the sound off. You don't have to listen to anything that the bitch says. But just watch just watch the way she moves and stuff. She moves more like a drag queen than she does a woman. So I were you? I didn't know that. It's always interesting to me when drag queens end up being trans because, as you know, it's not the same thing. Um, but I do understand, you know, I do understand that it's easier to ease into the realm of transness, I guess, through the drag queen or the cross dresser route. I get that. Um, and it's surprising that there there aren't more trans women that find their way, through either drag or cross dressing. But whatever. Like you would think there's like the logic to it that there would be more than there are. But yes, Galen, you have to listen to anything the bitch says. Is what it is. Once again. Oh man. So oh, that's good to know, Persephone. I like that. See, that makes sense because Persephone is kind of a drag name. Your name, I'm always afraid I'm not pronouncing it right. Charlize, is it Charlize or Charlize? Is it like an sh or is it like a ch? Because I've never heard you say it. I only ever see it in text. Mm. Oh God, I'm getting old. I am getting old. So yeah, Galen, you weren't here yet. I don't think you were in. I don't know. Um, but I was saying earlier that I am now working. I am no longer a stay-at-home mom. I'm working. I am a assistant or teacher's assistant. I'm in a private school, and oh, I'm not 30. Thank you though. Hey, redneck atheist. Hello. I wish I was 30. Oh my God, I wish I was 30. Charlize. Just like the actress that you totally didn't name yourself after. Yeah, Galen. So I'm working in a private school as a assistant teacher. It's fun. It's interesting. Learning a lot. We had back to school night the other night, and I had to introduce myself to all of the parents of the students in my class. Actually, I ended up having to introduce myself to all of the parents that came in for back to school night for all of the classes, not just for mine. Um, and I was so nervous about it because it was just like I have this voice, you know, like these people are gonna know. Like, there's no way that I am going to be like, convincing enough, that they're not gonna know that they're gonna know. So I was afraid that there was going to be an issue, and I told the school, the administrator, the owner of the school, that I would rather not work there than to have people pulling their kids out of the school because there's a trans woman, in the classroom. And she's like, I don't think you're going to have a problem. I You look great. I don't think there's going to be a problem. And so I was so nervous. And as of right now, it's been a couple of days. As of right now, there's been no issue with parents being upset about it. So I was so nervous. It was bothering me. It was bothering me for 2 weeks. I was just like biting my nails, so worked up over it. And when it came time for me to speak, I kind of went blank a little bit. I was speaking, but I don't know exactly what I was saying. But yeah, uh, it's rough. It's rough because there's crazy fucking people out there. You know, before I even started working, there was actually a parent that was just like, you know, oh, you're hiring a trans person, or I'm pulling my kids out of your school. And she did. She had 4 kids in the school and she pulled them out because I was being considered for a position. And it's just it's fucked up. There's crazy people out there. So yeah, just do your thing. That's the thing. So Penn, 30, 30, 30. 30 was a long time ago. 30 was a long time ago there, Penn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Howdy, Ruby Rod. Galen, Galen, Galen. Okay, so conceptually, I don't disagree with this, right? Absolutely, you're right. You're right. I, I'm I am on board for this. I really am. Here's the problem: the rest of the world isn't. It's so easy to just say, "Oh, it's the world's problem. It has nothing to do with me. It's not my problem." Because, the world makes it your problem. Um, and that sucks. But it is the reality of our world. So, yeah, seriously, I would like to be 40. I would like to be 40 again. That was a long time ago. Shit, I'd go back to 50. I'd be happy to go back to 50. That wasn't that long ago, but still, any time I can get back, I'll take. Honestly, I am getting old. I feel it. I feel it. My knees are shot. And I guess I just spent too much time on my knees. I don't know. But my knees are shot. They hurt. After like sitting in this chair for a while, getting up, it's hard to walk. My hips, my back, my knees, all shot. Um, I get issues, and I don't even know where the fuck it came from. I had a big ass bruise on my leg. I don't know where it came from. Um, yeah, Ruby. I am 52. I am 52. But I mean, it sucks. It sucks. It really does. But yeah, I mean, if I could go back to 50, whatever I could get, I'll take. So, damn, it's that chair from Blog TV. Oh, not this. This is fairly new. I got this about maybe a year and a half. I like this chair. I was gonna get a pink one, but all of the pink ones are like tiny. I couldn't find one that was like an adult sized chair. Fuckers. And you can't see it, but there's another chair back there. I don't think you can see it. And that one is not from Blog TV. Let's just talking about that chair. That chair, this one, that might have been on Blog TV. I think it was on Blog TV. It's in the basement now. This is the basement. This is why I don't make videos or stream anymore, because my computer is in the basement. Like I have to go out of my way just to be on the computer these days. Maybe someday I'll put the computer back up, back in our living area. But as of right now, it's down here. I need to get reading glasses. It's something I have been putting off. Peach keeps yelling at me. Get reading glasses, get reading glasses. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. I refuse. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I don't have a rocking chair. Not yet. So people ask me, because of how I look, what my secret is to aging, how I've aged so well. And I'm like, estrogen. It was the hormones. Totally the hormones. Because when I went back on hormones, when I had finally gotten an actual prescription from a doctor, I didn't tell my siblings or my mom that I was on them. And my younger sister, kept asking me. She's just like, every time I see you, you look younger. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, it's just a new, facial routine I'm doing. It's creams and stuff. No, it was hormones. Totally, totally hormones. Transgender women age in reverse to a certain extent. Just call me Rebecca Buttons. I like that. Yeah, I need to do this. I want to get a screened in porch. I do. I want a screened in porch. So when it's raining, I can stand on it, holding a cup of coffee, going, we needed this. We needed this. So totally want that. I want that. If I hit the lottery, Peach, if you're watching, if you're watching, Peach, if we hit the lottery, I want a screened in porch. Mhm. Oh yeah, no, Persephone, absolutely, absolutely, yes. That's what happens. I mean, I look at me. Look, I'm 52 years old. I don't look 52. I mean, I always looked younger than I was, but I mean, after I started hormones, I kind of backed up a bit. So absolutely. Yeah, seriously, redneck atheist. I want to do that. Stand out on the screened in porch and, with like a shawl and my coffee cup and just looking up at the clouds while it's pouring rain. And we needed this. It's the little things in life. And besides, I love the rain, so I would love to be in a screened in porch while it's pouring. Love, 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 love. I also want Peach just sent me a message. I also want a new deck of pool. Wait, what? Where'd you go? I also want a new deck, a pool, a fire pit, a new car. And yes, I do. I do. I want all those things. All of those things, baby. I do. Don't judge me. It is what it is. The heart wants what the heart wants. That fresh rain smell. Yeah. I love on a really hot day and it's a cold rain. Oh, I love that. When I was a kid, I would ride my bike in the rain. I would all the time. It was raining, I'd be on the bike and I'd be out, getting all soaking wet. I'm sneezing. I don't like it. I'm all sniffly and sneezing. Oh, this sucks. This really sucks. I was so hoping that Coctopus would come in. I was hoping that, Joe and Mike and Autumn would come in also. I always love having them on, love hanging out and talking with them. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Um, where I come from, we say, well, bless you, child. Well, thank you. But I love when they come in and talk, but I really wanted to talk to Coctopus about the comments about saying that people who are misgendered aren't victims. I really would love to have a better explanation from him as far as what he means. Like I'm not like pissed off or I'm not like looking to confront him and no drama. It's just, hey, what is this supposed to mean? I don't want to be a token. And I don't think I don't think I was the token trans on the goddamn podcast. But I mean, if I was, I'd really not like that at all. I wouldn't like that. Unless I was the Tolkien trans. That's different. South Park said so. Not a single one of these guys saw the invite for them to come on. God damn it. God damn it. That's what I get for not scheduling this shit out. That's what I get. This is important. Well, I don't know about that, Galen. I know there's a lot of people in the trans community under the trans umbrella that would be upset with some of the things that I say. I think I'm not as forgiving as some. Um, I'm not gonna, you know, I don't want to use the word coddle, but I can't think of a better word. But I'm not gonna like break down and coddle somebody who was like freaking out that they were misgendered when they present as a man. You know, I don't know what you expect if you're and I know that there are plenty of people who are like, oh sweetheart, I am so sorry that happened to you, and it's like I feel bad too, but what did you think was gonna happen? Like I don't know. Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, I understand that. I get that, but it's like it's almost like the opposite though. Like this, I don't know if you're in the chat yet or not, but I was talking about this trans woman on Twitter who presents as a man and then gets upset when people misgender her. And it's like, but they don't know. Like, if they don't know, what do you expect from them? Like, you can't like rant at people and get upset and throw a fit when people don't know they've done something wrong, or they don't know that they're that you feel like they're disrespecting you. You can't go through life like that. Not everybody is a boogeyman, you know. And at the same time, like if Blair fucking White goes into a store and somebody calls her, sir, that person's an asshole because she is clearly not a he. I'd be happy if she went into a store and somebody said, "We're not gonna serve you, bitch," but that ain't happening. Yes, redneck atheist. Yes, exactly. And I mean, like we were talking about Blair White before, right? She'll call those people out, right? She'll call those people out, but when she does it, she doesn't use any um there's no nuance, right? There's no sensitivity, there's no nuance. She just says you're a freak. And it's just like, bitch, you've had like 9,000 surgeries. Your face isn't even real anymore. Why are you like, ragging on somebody who hasn't had that, right? Who hasn't had that ability? Do you? I hate Blair White. She's fucking awful. She's just an awful person. Um, oof. Um, it's not that simple. It just isn't that black and white. As much as we all might like it to be, it just isn't. And it's just so much easier to look at somebody who isn't as pretty as Blair or as pretty as me. Because look at me. I'm fantastic. But I mean, it's so easy to point at those people and be like, oh, you're not trans. You're a freak. That's easy. Any asshole with a camera can do that. I mean, it takes a lot more work to see the person, and you're dealing with people. And yeah, there are crazy fucking people out there. And there are some weird. She had a video of this guy, this guy. He he. I'm misgendering this person now. I don't know, but if they were, I know that they're on hormones. I think. Anyway, they're trying to this person. This person was trying to lactate, which, Blair is like, that's never going to happen. It's not possible, which she's wrong. Like, medically, she's wrong. Anybody with nipples can lactate. That's just the way it is. There's a gland. It's a modified sweat gland. Are the mammary glands, and all mammals have them, male and female. So anyway, so it's a modified sweat gland, and it's activated by very specific hormones, and it's also activated by suction, right? So it's like, if there are things that any person can do to stimulate lactation, it's something that's possible because you're a mammal. So anyway, so this person was just like going on and on about how they wanted to lactate. They wanted to make milk so they could feed it to children. And the first half of that, I'm like, hey, if you want to lactate, you want to lactate, whatever. There was a time in my life where I actually took the hormones in order to lactate so I could grow my boobs bigger, right? That's what my thought process was. I would lactate, they would grow, they would enlarge, very all naturally, blah, 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 whatever. Didn't really work out, so whatever. So I stopped. So, like, for somebody to have the desire to do that, I'm thinking because they're looking for growth. I get that. But then the second half of his sentence, I was like, what the fuck? Whose kids are you feeding with your breast milk? What the fuck are you talking about? And this is somebody who's like a prime target for Blair to make a video about, ranting about, freaks. And I don't disagree in this person's case. I don't disagree with her, because it's like, what are you talking about? What the fuck? You know what I mean? And it's people like that. And this is, again, something that Blair said that I agree with. It's people like that that make all trans people look bad. Because they're just so easy for somebody to hold up as an example and be like, see, these people are fucking crazy. And it's less like, no, we're not all that motherfucker. That motherfucker is that motherfucker. It's got nothing to do with us. So, anyway, I don't know. I don't know. She was your gateway to beginning to understand trans people. The trans people are real, and they're not all like what I see on Twitter. They're not all like what you see on Twitter. It's true. It's true. It's true. She has this whole big thing where she keeps talking about conservative values, and it's just like, what even is that anymore? Like, because she's like, it's fiscal conservatism. It's like, what are you talking about? The American right, they gave up on fiscal conservatism during the Bush the second Bush administration, possibly the first, but definitely the second. They gave that up a long time ago. There is nothing fiscally conservative about the modern Republican Party. They are culturally conservative, which means they don't like her. As much as she waves their flag, they don't like her. And they'll put her up against the wall right next to me when the time comes. Strange people are going to be strange no matter what else they're doing. And this is a fact. And there are some strange people in my community. And I don't want to be associated with these people. But unfortunately, they exist. And unfortunately, they put that same tag on them that I put on me, trans. So there's always going to be an association. And I am not going to make it my life's mission, like Blair has, to go searching the internet for some of these crazy people and holding them up as examples. I don't have time for that. I have a life to live. I've got kids. I have a wife. I have a job. I have a home. It's not my job to show everybody who the freaks are so I can feel better about myself. I don't need that to feel good about myself because I have a life and I'm pretty. uh, almost everything I said was true. I don't know. I don't know. Let me go back to this. I would only be offended if you're being intentionally offensive. So, okay, want to see something that freaks me out? I never noticed this until I started wearing makeup. Okay, so on my forehead, like right here, there's like a dark spot, right? It looks like either there's something there, right? Or like I missed it with the makeup. It's like a shadow or something, right? I see it all the time on the camera and it drives me up the wall. That's a vein. And what you see is a shadow, and the makeup doesn't cover it. And I don't know what to do about it. I'm very insecure about it. But I am not going to do bangs. I'm not doing it. So, whatever. I deal with it. But yeah, it drives me crazy. Every time I'm on camera, I see it. It drives me up the fucking wall. I am really hard on myself. Like, seriously. Like, if Peach were in the chat, she would tell you that it's true. I am very hard on myself. And I actively try not to be, but whatever. Whatever. It is what it is. So anyway, yeah, Ruby, I'm unless you're being offensive on purpose. Okay. And I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Bandana. What, wear a bandana on my head? I ain't doing that like all the time. No. No. I ain't looking like no biker bitch. No. No. I mean, I could pull it off. But no. Oh, Jesus Christ. What else is happening? Let's see. Still nothing. My God, this sucks. To wear a bandana like a 90s hard rock drummer. Raven J, the new drummer for Guns N' Roses. No. 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 I don't want to look like a drummer. Oh. Oh, the Breakfast Club. So, okay. So, got that funk, gave the Breakfast Club channel to me to use. It took some work to basically for me to adopt it, but I was able to do it. And I've done nothing with it. Absolutely nothing because of all the things I was saying before about, having a family and a job and a house and everything else. And because my computer is down in the basement, it's hard for me to do anything. So, but I mean, I want to. I had intended to. Um, I would like to be able to start doing the videos with like six other users, so there'd be like 7 videos. You know what I mean? A week, every day, somebody else, like in the old days. I wanted to get back to that format on that channel. Um, I I know of a few people that I can ask to take part that probably would. But I don't know if I have enough for the whole week. I don't know if people would be interested in that kind of a thing again. I don't know if I would have the time I used to have to commit to it. I would like to. So I decided to sit on it for now and let me get into a routine with the job and with the kids in school and all that kind of stuff and see what kind of a flow and a routine I can get going. And maybe I can start it up again over the winter. I don't know. I want to. Um, I mean, I would ask if there's anybody here that would be interested in that, and if that channel were to start pumping out material again. Oh, and I would also do a weekly show on that channel also. Um, but like I said, I would ask, you know, people here if they'd be interested in that. But if you're here watching me now, you would probably be interested. So it wouldn't make too much sense to ask. So I don't know. Who else could help? I have no idea. I have no idea. I wanted to get a producer for the show, for the channel, to help with all that kind of stuff, even if he's not making videos. Kind of like the goddamn podcast had a producer, um, and so I asked that used to be the producer for the goddamn podcast, and he just said no. And I'm like, really, just like that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know. Look at my hair. It's kind of like got a 70s vibe, right? Right? Doesn't it though? Right? You like it? Does it look good? I've got like this, I don't know. Anyway, I spend a lot of the time on the show looking at myself. Hang on a second, I gotta sneeze again. Mm. Okay, and another thing that I don't want to get into like the trap of. I don't want to end up I already see it happening because it's so hard to not do it, but I don't want to be like a trans channel. Like I don't want the Breakfast Club to turn into that. I don't want my channel to turn into that. Like I've got 3 channels at this point. I've got Dev Shell 2, I've got Raven J, and I've got the Breakfast Club. And I don't want any of them except for the Raven J channel. I don't want any of them to be, you know, the trans channel. Um, although DevShell 2, this channel, I am planning on retiring soon at some point and switching over to the other channel um, permanently. But I don't have subscribers there. I have them here. So for now, I'm kind of sticking to here, if that makes sense. Anyway, at some point, at some point it'll all come together. This used to be so easy. Like I used to I used to be on the air live streaming every single day. Some days up to 20 hours a day, right? And I would post multiple videos outside of the live streams on Blog TV. I would post multiple videos every day. And I would comment on everything from atheism to science stuff, um, to religious stuff. I did commentary on the drama, and I somehow had time for all of that. I did my work, my work. Um, if y'all remember what I used to do, but I did my work, um, and took care of my house. I had time for all of that. I ain't got time for fucking shit anymore, and I don't do nothing. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Well, Galen, here's the problem. I mean, I don't disagree. I because I actively try to stay away, from staying on the topic. The problem is when you're trans, when you transition, everything becomes a trans issue. Everything. Because there's not a single part of your world, there's not a single part of your life that is untouched. Right? So everything, your entire existence goes into this upheaval, and then you kind of rebuild it from scratch. So everything becomes a trans thing. So it's hard. It is very hard to discuss things in a way that's not trans related. It actually does take effort. Um, I remember when ZJ transitioned, and suddenly all of her videos were trans. When before that they weren't. There was a variety of topics, but when she transitioned, it was like everything became trans, and I was just like, really, really, is that where we're at now? And now that I've transitioned, it's like, yeah, that's where we're at. I mean, that's it's hard not to. So I make an effort. I make an effort. But I'm not on nearly as much as I used to be either. So, excuse me. Anyway, damn it, I was hoping to talk to Coctopus. Or even like Joe and Autumn and Mike. Love them all to death. I wish they would come on. Nobody loves me anymore. Anyway, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on. Because I think in a little while I'm just going to shut this down and I'm going to go watch Star Trek. It was just something else I wanted to talk to somebody about because I've been watching a lot of Star Trek. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You kind of run out of steam, I don't know. I used to do this for 20 fucking hours a day. 20 hours. What should you watch? I don't know. I don't know. What do you like? What start? I what Okay, so right now I am running through the original series again. It's been I realized it's been a couple of decades since I actually watched the entire original series. Um they used to do marathons when I was a kid, and I remember watching a lot of Star Trek on the marathons. And I would stay up for like an entire weekend and just do nothing but absorb Star Trek. And I haven't done that with the original series in a long time, so I started watching it again. I am almost done actually. I'm most of the way through season 3 at this point, so I'm almost done. So I've also been watching all the way through again um, Enterprise. So at the same time, I'm watching both, and I'm also now almost done with season 4 of Enterprise. So I've got a few more shows, and that's over. I think there's like 2 more left. I think. Um, or no, it might only be one more. I might be on the last one, almost on the last one. Um, and if it's the last one, that'll suck. The last episode of Enterprise sucked. They really did the cast and stuff. They really did them dirty. Um, but yeah, I watched all of Strange New Worlds. I've watched now. I'm almost done with the original series and with Enterprise. I don't know I don't know if I have it in me to watch 7 seasons of Voyager, or the Next Generation, or Deep Space Nine. Everybody like loves Deep Space Nine. I was not a huge fan. I actually might watch Discovery again. I might start. That might be the next one I start is Discovery. Yeah, and then there are other people, Redneck. Then there are other people who like they think that that was the best season 3. They thought that season 3 was the best season of Enterprise. Um, I really enjoyed Enterprise. There are certain aspects of the whole Zindi story arc that bothered me. The insectoids, I just really didn't like the insectoids. I thought they were ridiculous. Um, but other than that, it wasn't too bad. Um, I don't. There are people that are just like, oh, I don't like Archer on Enterprise. I don't like Archer. Bakula just overacts. It's terrible, and it's like you're talking about the same franchise that has William Shatner. I mean, come the fuck on. If you can handle William Shatner, you can handle Scott Bakula. What the fuck? Um, whatever. Or they're like, oh man, he was wrong on this thing, or he was wrong, or whatever, and he broke with the Prime Directive. It didn't exist yet. That was one of the things that I liked about the show was that the captain was so volatile. Because he was making up the rules as he went. Like you can't compare him to the other captains because his entire, you know, um, existence in the ship and everything, it can't be compared to anything else because he was the first one. Do you know what I mean? So it's just I like the ship. I love the ship. Actually, my favorite Enterprise is the NX-01 is my favorite Enterprise because it made sense to me. Like our first, exploratory vessel with a big crew and everything else is going to be similar to a submarine on the inside. It's going to have that feeling. It made sense to me, you know, the low ceilings and the beams and everything. It made sense. Oh, that's pretty cool, Galen. Yeah, but you know, um, so I did not like the first season of Discovery. I remember watching it, and I'm like, you know, watching the end credits on episode 1, and I'm like, why are all of these people on this show assholes? Everybody's an asshole. Everybody hates each other. They're stabbing each other in the back. They're just rotten to each other. Everybody's in a bad mood. When did that become a part of Star Trek? Because, you know, there was like a million other shows before, and that was never part of the story, never part of anything. It's just like, who wrote this? Are they familiar with the franchise? And they started to turn it around, I felt like, in season 2. And then when they took the ship into the future, I felt better about it because it was just like it belonged in the future. Like it didn't make any sense. Where they had it on the timeline made no sense. So, but I don't think Discovery is bad. I just think they had a bad first season. So, yeah, the tardigrade drive. It's like what? What? Get out of here with that. Go 900 years in the future with that, won't you? Jeez, just go. Um, I mean, there are people who are like, oh, I didn't like Discovery because I didn't like Michael Burnham. And it's just like, so you didn't like the black girl. That's your reason. Like, what was wrong with Michael Burnham? It's just like, I don't know. Sorry. So yes, I'm working at a school. And now, um, both both of our boys are in school now too. So either me or them brought home a cold, and everybody's sick. Sucks. She was writing and some of the makeup and special effects. Convoluted. Well, here's the thing. Like people are like, they're talking about like Subspace Rhapsody, the musical episode of Strange New Worlds. They're like, oh, they jumped the shark. It's like, what do you mean they jumped the shark? It's Star Trek. Every episode beginning in September 1966 has been a jump the shark episode. That's what Star Trek does. They've been doing that from day one. Yeah, the whole making her Spock's sister that you never heard about. But here's the thing: is they explain why you never heard about her, and it's like I will forgive some things if they can explain it. If they can explain it in a way that makes sense. I can forgive it because you got to remember, Discovery takes place before, at least the first couple of seasons of Discovery takes place before the original series. And then when they went into the future, that entire thing, all of it became classified information. So Spock could never speak about his sister, which is why he never mentions her in the original series. It's top secret, it's classified, it's explained. If they can explain it, I'm okay with it. The 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 Klingons in the original series that have the smooth heads, right? Obviously, makeup and stuff became better when the next generation came out, so they reinvented the Klingons. Well, then Enterprise explained why there was a difference between the Klingons. It wasn't the best explanation, but it was an explanation. So I accepted it because it was like they explained it. I can forgive it. But Discovery did not explain why their Klingons looked the way they did, and I still don't accept it. I don't accept it. They didn't. There's no explanation. Why do these ones look so ridiculous? Not that the turtle heads didn't look ridiculous, also, but still, I mean, you know, you can't just change something and tell people just get over it. No, why? What happened? You know, is this um a different faction, and they look like this because of genetic experimentation? Is that it? Explain it. I don't know. Is it a different species of Klingon? Is it like, Klingons have like multiple different species, maybe not on the same planet, but part of the same empire, right? Is that the case? The mutant Klingons, right? Explain it, right? If you have an explanation, even if it's not the best explanation, I'll take it. At least try. And Discovery did not try to explain why their Klingons were so weird compared to the others. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? I don't know. But like there was the 777 series, right? Um, Next Generation was 7 seasons. Deep Space Nine was 7 seasons, and Voyager was 7 seasons. Those three are the most successful Star Trek um, series in the entire franchise. And Voyager and Deep Space Nine bore me. I am bored by them. Deep Space Nine feels very claustrophobic watching it, and it makes me uncomfortable. Crackhead. These Klingons are crackheads. That's why they look the way they do. It's not a good explanation, but it's an explanation. I don't know. Oh well. I think I'm gonna shut this down. It's almost 11 o'clock. Think I'm gonna go see if that's the last episode of Enterprise that's waiting for me. If that's the case, I'll watch that tonight, and then I'll go to bed. We'll see. But thank you all for coming and hanging out with me for a couple of hours. It's been a while. It was fun. It's a shame we didn't get any visitors. That would have been most awesome. Oh well. It's just easier to talk, you know what I mean? When there's somebody to talk to. Too much dead air when I'm on alone. Oh. All right, everybody. Good night. Good night. It was good to see you. Bye.